What's up, everybody? Nameco Dustin here, Fantasy Smack Talk, and it's a football show. And I know a lot of drafts are done, or they're about to be when you're watching this possibly, so this is post-draft strategy video. Dustin, start us off with some post-draft strategies.
So I want to talk about trades, and this time of year, a lot of times I draft for trade value. Right after the draft, there's sometimes I will fill my queue for the amount of trades I'm allowed to send within half an hour of the draft being over. But there's so many owners out there that do the draft and have no intentions, will not even listen to trades until football starts. That's really not the best thing to do. If you know your team has a hole or you're unbalanced, and someone's offering you a trade that fixes your problems, you don't need to see actual football to just go ahead and fix that problem. I think that's a big no-no in my opinion. And as far as getting trades done, if you look at our fantasy football app, we got a lot of really good stuff in there as far as, the do's and don'ts as far as when to do trades, how to do trades. If someone's solving your problems for you and you don't even have to do anything, don't just shut down and not even consider it.
And here's the other thing with that. If you have two running backs that you consider solid, but your bench is really weak, and you have good depth at receiver, and somebody sends you a running back, and you're like, oh, I only have to start two. Well, buys are going to come starting week 4, and there's always injury factors. It's not bad to have depth at that position, so look past your starting lineup when considering trades.
And one other thing too, I think it's actually easier to trade before the season.
Makes a lot more sense.
You're just going by ADPs. You have this number that tells you where their value is, and there's less variables. You're not worried about injuries, a guy underperforming, overperforming. You're just trading to get your team balanced.
All right, next little tip. You've drafted. You took a kicker, which is fine as long as your last pick. But we still got some time until the season. So what I love to do at this point is, if there's kind of a guy that's getting a little bit of buzz and it may or may not pan out, drop your kicker, pick up that player. Prime example, James White. Ridley, he's not getting cut. Let's be honest, that's ridiculous. But could we hear that James White ends up starting and they do a little more of Vereen in the slot? That could happen. So I love to drop my kicker, pick up James White, wait until almost Sunday of the first game and see what's happening with White. If he ends up being the starter, that's great for you. You figure out somebody else to cut. If he's not, you just cut White, pick up another kicker. And if you drafted early and you took Matt Prater in the 8th round, you think you had the best kicker? Ha! Should listen to us.
Ha! One other thing too is, defenses at this point, there's a lot of different views on defenses and when you should draft them. If you go after one of the top defenses, but there's a lot of owners out there that will draft one of the top defenses, and then that's their defense no matter who they're playing. Even if you got one of the top defenses, still make sure you're looking to see who they play. Denver's a good example. They got the Colts week 1. Yeah, they could still have a decent game against the Colts, but
But am I going to rank the Steelers higher than them? Probably, because they're playing the Browns, and it looks terrible for them right now.
Don't always, just because you drafted them and they're one of the top defenses, that doesn't necessarily mean that they should start for you every week.
And a quick plug, whenever you're looking for your week 1 matchups, we're going to have it on the site very soon, fantasysmacktalk.com. I will do weekly rankings with Dustin's help, of course, and we will be looking through everything, and we, on this Fantasy Pro site, did very, very well, so I consider us to do very well again. And defenses, we really look at the matchups. That's what's really key to ranking the defenses.
And also, too, we already touched on it a little bit, kind of talking about it with White, but just this time of year, you have to be, if your draft's over, you don't just sit and wait until the first game. You have to be paying attention to the news, paying attention to the injury status, and really being on top of things. No one's on waivers right now. If there's news that breaks, it's going to be a mad dash to the computer, so you got to be...
You know what happened last year? Everyone thought Ball was starting. All of a sudden, the news broke that Sean Moreno was starting.
He got him in all the leagues.
It was beautiful.
If you get lucky with that.
But that's the thing, you got to do those things. That's what makes a championship roster. It's not the draft, it's managing your team after that.
It's the little things. So, post-draft strategy, there you go. Got any questions, post in our forums. If you want to do FanDuel Leagues, FST 2014. Not bad.
Not bad.
It's online. Bottom 2 fingers.
For Dustin, President, CEO, I'm the Schmuck, Nameco. Have a good draft. Post strategy. Thoughts.
If you like what you saw, then check out some of our other videos and subscribe to our channel.